Arsenal, as it stands at the top of the table with 85 points on the board. It's Tottenham next, West Ham on the final day. Win those two and they will be champions. If Arsenal beat Man United tomorrow, we are going down to the wire on that final day. Let's get the thoughts of Pep Guardiola. He's with Jules Breach.
Congratulations. 2 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, 21 games unbeaten now. What did you like most about your team's performance today?
Everything, the incredible pressure we are playing for, but this group of players for many years, they'll enjoy a lot to play with this pressure, and we make a solid performance except the first 5-10 minutes, like it's normal, they are so aggressive. But after the first action, we make a lot, I would say, a lot of passes. We make a long action through the passes, and after the game calmed down, we took the game in our hands. We concede few and we create a lot, and yeah, good results. So next Tuesday the final. We have the real final next Tuesday.
You talk about the pressure that the players are dealing with now. They look quite relaxed. It doesn't look like the pressure is getting to them. No,
relaxed we are not. Otherwise we cannot perform that well. But they know that they have to win, to do something like anyone has done. So we want is have arrived, the last game at home with the destiny in our hands. So for that we need to win the game against Spurs.
A man of the match performance for Josko Gvardiol. 2 goals for him today. That's 5 in 7 games now, and he even had the chance for a hat trick. What have you done with him?
Himself, yeah, he moved really well with both feet. So normally that left footer is difficult to control with the right. It's completely the opposite. He feels more comfortable with the right than the left. And yeah, the goal he scored could have signed the best wingers in the planet. So the composure he has in front of the goal is really good. And yeah, really pleased.
And a big embrace for Phil Foden when he came off. It's 25 goals for the season for him now, and another brilliant performance.
Another one, yeah. Yeah, he helped us again to win the game. So yeah, it's 2 games left. 2 games left for this tough competition, the Premier League, and yeah, recovery soon, because on Tuesday will be another one, and against a team like is so intense, so aggressive in a stadium like always we struggle, but we won this season FA Cup. We know exactly what you have to do, and we're going to try to do it.
And you mentioned it's not been done before. 4 Premier League titles in a row. That's what you're aiming for. If you were to do it, how big an achievement would that be?
Asked me that at the end of the last game of the season. So now it's be relaxed, recover well. So because we don't have just 3 days, and one step at a time. But of course we have this challenge in our head from long time ago.
Thanks, Pep. Well done.
Very welcome. Thank you.
But at the moment, you never know. You're right at 1-0, but
you don't know.
Fulham have got to ask a few more questions.
Yeah, I think they have to. They have to get the football first. But that's the thing. The main thing for me, if Fulham want something out of this game, is they have to be in the game with 20 minutes to go. If they concede another in the opening 10-15 minutes of the second half, then it's game over for me. They're not getting 2 goals, and they're certainly not getting 3. So they have to make sure that they don't concede like they did in the first half in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. If it's still 1-0 going into the last half hour, who knows? I know what you're saying, and that applies normally and probably through most of the season. But today in the sunshine, early start. Yeah, when you're a footballer, you want to go out there and play.
Yes,
you played Man City.
I've seen no evidence of them looking as though they want to be involved in this game. Nice 5 or 10 minutes at the start.
I think they've tried.
City have just slicked the ball about.
They've just been unable to make a dent. I don't think it's because they're not trying. I just think it's because they've not done enough of the football. If you've only got 20%, 25% in the football. No, we haven't seen a tackle. No,
challenge a little bit.
It's been very comfortable.
Show a little bit of hunger.
Very comfortable.
There's been absolutely none of that. And this is all too easy for City at the moment.
It is at the moment.
Far too easy.
We've seen a lot of games like that this season with City, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
A very happy Pep Guardiola. Arsenal fans not so happy after what they've witnessed here today. We've got a message from an Arsenal fan saying it's so demoralising going up against this Manchester City. We've been so good again this year and still won't win it. They are a machine. Pete, it must be so demoralising. Do you think, going up against this side?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely fair assessment there, isn't it? I think whatever you do, and if you give Manchester City 2 games to go to win a title, does anyone think, whoever, regardless of who it's against, Does anyone think they're going to drop points? You just can't see it. I go again. Arsenal have been magnificent this year. Been great to watch. There's been so much positives from their point of view. But this City team's relentless. They're creating history one game at a time. And Guardiola won't get drawn on 4 titles in a row. It's never been done because they're achieving things that have never been done all the time now. I mean, individual players are getting accolades that have never been done, and the team is doing the same. And I think it's only when Guardiola leaves that we'll realise quite how impressive what he's achieved here has been.
If he wins 4 in a row, do you think there's any possibility of that happening this summer, Julian, at all? To go out on that sort of high, something that's never been done before?
Tough one, that, Linz. Now you've said it, it's obviously potentially could happen because you don't know how draining this is.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't. He may seem flat there, but the consistency, the work ethic he as an individual has to put in, the motivation he has to give the players every day, not just every week for the games, but every day. It must be tiring. So to at the end of it, if he's done 4 in a row, he may recognise that and say, yeah, this is me. But that would surprise me. I would have been more confident saying that if it was a treble. If he was doing a double treble.
Double though.
Yeah, obviously.
Not bad, is it?
Remarkable achievement.
Double top.
We're treating trophies like darts.
Well, City are. But yeah, in regards to what you're asking could happen, I don't see it happening, but listen, what he's achieved and what this group of players have achieved, where this club are now, he's leaving them in a remarkable
There was a story this week, actually, in Kicker in Germany, saying that he would be the dream choice for Bayern Chiefs, for him to go back there. Obviously, he's probably anyone's dream choice, let's be honest with you. Yeah. But they obviously have that history. Apparently, he's still got an apartment there. He still loves this city. Yeah,
I mean, listen, there's a rebuild there, isn't there? I think at Manchester City, he's got. I don't see you've got everything you need. Essentially, the weather is the only issue that he hasn't got. But everything else he's got here. I mean, the team he's got, obviously financially, very, very well off. They're going to continue to win and win and win if he stays here. The only thing is, we never saw Jurgen Klopp taking a break. We never saw that one coming. We don't know how he's feeling within himself, and also the players as well. I don't know how, because you know him better than me, Jolien. how relentless he is, day in, day out.
I think that's the change. I think the rebuild isn't as appealing as you may think. I think speaking to the players, and he mentioned it himself, he's relaxed his attitude a lot more. He doesn't have to be as detailed every day because this group of players have been together a long time. And
he's got 7 who've made over 150 appearances for him. They know each other inside out.
There you go. And they'll be spreading the word. And obviously you're buying some young players, Doku, Guardiola, but you're buying experience as well. You're recruiting experience. So the messages aren't as frequent, aren't necessarily needed all the time, where obviously when he first joined the club, players were saying there was meetings relentless about training, but I don't think they happen as much now. I think he trusts the players, and the players trust that if they try to implement what he's asking, the outcomes tend to be wins.
Well, we can hear from a City fan now. They were having fun in the sun here today in London. Lloyd Scragg is with Jules Breach and Ali McCoist.
Yeah, Lloyd was one of those fans, Lindsay. He also does the 9320 podcast, so you follow this club inside out. I was chatting to a few City fans before the game, and a few of them were saying they felt a bit nervous about this one, but no need with a performance like that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was a bit nervous, to be fair, but this team, they know at this stage of the season they've been here before. I think the players and Guardiola, with Spurs coming up, I was less nervous about this one, but I think we're in the groove, and at this kind of stage in the season, even though I thought we started quite nervously, to be fair, I think the players were a bit nervous. I think you saw, particularly when the second goal went in, the team relaxed big time.
Lloyd, what do you think? I mean, I'm not going to mess about here. I gave Gvardiol the man of the match, right? But it was part of me wanted to strip him of that man of the match award when he refused to take that penalty. What was that all about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
what's going on there?
The fans were obviously calling for that. I mean, that would have been so good. He's a centre back, right? Playing left back, first season. What Pep asked you to do in that position is really tricky. So to kind of have the season he's had, and I think particularly since his injury has been so good. But I actually wanted Ederson to take it because the players have said that Ederson's our best penalty taker, and I think 3-0 up, there's probably no better opportunity. But Gvardiol probably would have been the popular choice.
His two finishes were excellent as well. The first one, he cuts inside, takes extra touch to compose himself. Great finish. And the one at the back post was a tremendous finish.
Absolutely, yeah. And like a little bit like Haaland's in the derby last year, kind of just appeared.
Keeps it down.
Got on the end of it. But yeah, the first one was with his right foot. He's left-footed, so yeah, he's been a great signing.
Ali, apart from getting rage that Guardiola didn't take that penalty, what did you like most about the performance from City today?
I just thought the possession of the ball, you know, we've probably come to take it a little bit for granted, but I just think Rodri, Kovacic in the middle of the park, they make so many passes, make themselves available, and when you've got those two kind of sitting in front of your back four, and the four boys in front of you, I mean, in terms of they can go and play, Foden again, but I just thought that the possession of football, I understand what Lloyd was saying, a little bit nervy at the start, but I love to ask Lloyd the question, because I'm watching that game today, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I cannot see Fulham being any real danger. And I know 1-0 there's always a chance, but how do you feel as a City fan watching that? Are there nerves?
A little bit. Like, I don't want to sound overconfident, but I think at 1-0 they were in it. But you saw kind of, because a lot of the game was for 1-0, they were quite happy to just sit off. And I think for Fulham a little bit it was like we don't, you know, really want to get like heavily beaten. And yeah, there are a little bit of nerves, but as I said, you know, we've done 3 in a row before the last 3 seasons, and I think the players they hit the groove at this time of the season, and I think, yeah, particularly after Foden scored the second. I think
it was amazing. Speaking about it, there was 2 minutes before it. I think the record last 21 league games, won 17, drawn 4, which is incredible. And we're all aware of the fact that City are one of the teams that can go on a run. However,
always at this time of the season as well.
Absolutely, Jules. But the fact of the matter is, Arsenal are still in contention. So it tells you how well they're doing.
I think Arsenal deserve loads of credit. Like, Arteta's done an amazing job. You know, to be at this point in the season, particularly after how they kind of went last year, they did fold a bit. And I think they would probably admit that. But they've really kept City honest. And I think even with this result, I expect they'll beat United tomorrow. That back four for United. I was at the Palace game in the Palace end, pretend to be a Palace fan.
I was going to say, what were you doing there?
Yeah, no, I go to a few Palace
espionage.
games.
I've got that down as
a little bit, but I think they'll probably get past that. But then City Spurs is probably the big one, and Arsenal fans will be, you know, fingers crossed for that, won't they? They'll be really holding on.
Well, if you had a few nerves for today's game, how much does that grow with the Tottenham game because of your record there?
Massively. I mean, I don't need to remind City fans, but it's 5 games in the Prem since we've...
Don't laugh at him, Ali.
0.
I just like to see him with sweat on. At the very least, they deserve the City fans to have a sweat on.
I think, 5 games, 0 wins. I think we've accumulated an XG of about 11, 2 pen misses. Like, it's our voodoo ground. So I am nervous, but I think actually Spurs under Postecoglou, it helps us a little bit more. They kind of come at you, don't they? Whereas against Conte and Mourinho, they're a lot harder to face, and Spurs have always been better, kind of counter-attacking, absorbing pressure, and then going. So that's my crumb of comfort. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can't wait for it. Lloyd, thank you very much for your time. I reckon he's just putting it on Linz. He's not nervous at all.
Oh, he's worried. He's worried.
Not at all.
Congratulations, another great performance from you, another 2 goals as well. Talk us through the first one. 19 passes in the build-up. You must have been delighted when you saw the net ripple.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Yeah, another great performance, not just from me, from team as well. It was very, very difficult, but today we showed again who we are and what we are ready for.
2 goals for you today, and right at the end, when your team win a penalty, it looked like you were given the opportunity for a hat-trick. Were you offered to take the penalty?
Yeah, another 2 goals, happy, and of course, clean sheet, happy as well. We were discussing about me taking a penalty, but I said that, yeah, of course, I would like to take it, but we know who is a taker, he takes. So at the end, it was a coolie, and happy for him to score a goal.
You hadn't scored in your first 32 appearances for Man City, but it's now 5 goals in 7 games. Have you been doing anything differently to work on that?
No, I just think that that's normally sport in sport. So currently I'm in a good form, and end of the season is coming. 3 more finals. So yeah, we got to be ready.
Well, you're 2 points clear at the top of the table. How are you managing the pressure at this stage?
No, as I said many times, we just need to be focused on ourselves and keep going that way.
How much are you talking as a team about goal difference right now, because you've narrowed it with Arsenal?
Yeah, of course that we talk about it, and as you can see, we are trying to get there, but it's not easy because Arsenal have a quality as well, and they are doing quite well as well.
And it's Tottenham up next on Tuesday night. How are you all feeling ahead of that one then?
Yeah, another final. I played only once there. It was also difficult, and hopefully it's going to be a good game, good day for us.
Well done today. You are today's man of the match. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done.
He's been so impressive lately. 5 in 7 in all competitions now. His attacking output just keeps going up. He stood out today, Peter, but so many standout performances out there as well.
So many, yeah. I mean, I think when you watch Rodri close up as well, it's just the game's so easy to him. It's like men against boys at times. It feels like he's got another gear all the time. But De Bruyne, Foden, there's so many players in the City team. You can't pick out them all. But yeah, another professional performance, clinical again, and can't see this title going any other way, in all honesty.
Well, they've now won their last 7 in a row, Jolien, by an aggregate score of 28-5. How are they primed just to peak at just the right time?
Experience, know-how, leadership. They've been through it all and done it in various ways, so it's nothing new to them as a group of players. It's new because it's potentially the 4th time, but overall, this stage of the season, this is where these players just home in on what's at stake, and it's the title.
Arsenal's goal advantage is just 2 more now. They've closed that down as well, especially in those 7 games. What kind of pressure does all of this put on Arsenal going to Old Trafford tomorrow?
Yeah, huge pressure, but I think if you want to keep up with Manchester City, you just have to be... it has to be so difficult to do it, isn't it? I mean, plenty of teams... The fact that Liverpool did it one year and Arsenal have pushed them right to the wire is a credit to them, because this is one of the greatest teams that we've...
And behind us here at Craven Cottage, a lap of appreciation from the Fulham players and staff, their families, all here in the sunshine, thanking their fans, Peter, for what's been a successful season establishing themselves in the Premier League.
Yeah, always disappointing when you lose the last home game of the season and you have to walk round. I always used to feel a little bit embarrassed, to be honest, but I think they can hold their heads high. They've had a decent season. I think, considering what was thrown at them maybe in the summer, I think the manager's done a very good job, and some of these players could be proud of their performance. So why not enjoy it in the sunshine?
Exactly. Did you always enjoy these times, Jolien? Just your thanks to show your appreciation to everyone at the ground.
Definitely. Obviously, you get a lot of support throughout the year, so it's an opportunity to repay that in a small way. But yeah, just watching the families out here now, this brings back some memories. I remember when my kids were a lot smaller than they are now. So these are the moments that you look back on. You probably don't appreciate at the time, but you will cherish.
They're always nice. I've been in some where you've had a real tough time and you don't really want to show your face a little bit. So thankfully, it's been a decent season for Fulham, and they can walk round.
And they can look forward to a 3rd season in the Premier League. Today, though, in terms of the title race, all about Manchester City and just how dominant they were in this game. 21 games unbeaten in the Premier League now, Peter, for Manchester City. Do they get enough credit for just how hard that is? Because they seem to have normalised it.
Yeah. I just think with Manchester City, you kind of expect it now. It's like when Messi and Ronaldo were picking up the Ballon d'Or constantly. Forever. They just get it done so easily,
We're just looking at the first goal on the screen. Mateo Kovacic has just come out to join us as well, watching your Croatian teammate here, Mateo. When you're in a title race like this, that's what you want, your left back to suddenly decide he's a goal machine.
Yeah, he's playing unbelievable, really. I knew him already since a long time now, and his quality just unbelievable. He can play up front, at the back, so unbelievable player, unbelievable guy, and very happy for him to score these goals.
And for your own performances as well, that's 4 starts in the last 5. You really seem to be finding a place in this team. How happy are you with your performance?
Very happy. I think you see it on my face, and if you play in such a team, it's really a pleasure, and it's easy to play. So I love it. I've been loving it since the beginning. Now I'm getting in, playing, so I'm feeling good.
How have you found it moving to this team, playing amongst these players?
Sorry?
How have you found it moving to this team and playing alongside these players?
It's never easy. The guys know when you switch clubs, it's never easy, maybe the first months, but I think I settled in quite good, quite well, and feeling very comfortable.
How would you compare this? You've played for some of the biggest clubs in the world. How would you compare being at Manchester City to Real Madrid, to Chelsea, the clubs that you've been at?
I think they are at the top level, and obviously when you have a manager as Pep is, it's much easier because he gives you the game plan, and if you have the top players, they execute it. So the club is on a big level, and really I enjoy it since the first day.
And how does Pep differ from the top coaches that you worked with? How does Pep differ from the top coaches that you've worked with?
Just the details, and how he insists in every little detail and in playing from the back and never changing his style. So that's why he's the best, and his teams are always playing an unbelievable football.
Can I just ask you about Rodri in midfield with you there as well? You must enjoy playing with him. It looks like you've really built up a good understanding as well.
Yeah, I love it. Really, Rodri is for me and top player and the engine of this team. And playing with him is really a pleasure. Bernardo as well. To not mention all the players now, because it's really a big competition. But the team has really a strong bond. I think you can see it as well on and off the pitch. And this is very important to have success.
You play side by side with him. Not on the shortlist, Rodri, though, for the Premier League Player of the Season. What do you think about that? Do you think he should be there?
Of course he should be there, but I never am a fan of big individual awards. I'm more for the team, and Rodri is an unbelievable team player who plays for his team and gives his best to the team. So he should be there, but I think he's not the most important thing.
What's the message in the changing rooms now between yourself as a group of players? How are you describing the last 3 games with the final?
I think this club knows how it to win titles, and we are very calm. We are happy for winning the game today, but we know there is still a long way to go. It seems short, 2 games, but still it's a lot of work, and we have to win our games, and I hope we can do it.
It's Tottenham next, who have been such tricky opponents for Manchester City in recent times. Why do you think that is, and how determined are the players?
Yeah, I think every opponent is tough. If you watch today, it's a tough game. 12:30, not an easy game against Fulham. So we showed again character. We just have to focus on ourselves, which we will do.
Absolutely confident though going into that one, and for the last 2.
Yeah, of course we have to be, because we know we are a big club and a good team, and that we can do it. But we need to do it step by step. Tomorrow is a recovery day, and then we will think about Tottenham.
Will you have your feet up watching Arsenal against Man United tomorrow?
I don't know if my son will let me. But I will try. I like football, so I will try to watch it, of course.
Matteo, great to speak to you.
Thank you very
for coming
much.
out to join us.
Thank you very much.
Mateo Kovacic there, really finding a place in this team. Pep keeps picking him. Peter, can you see why?
I've more than found a place. I think it even allows Rodri. I think they complement each other so well. Rodri's allowed to get forward a little bit more, and he'll hold the fort when he goes. It's kind of made Rodri a better player as well. He's always been a top player. We know how good he is. He's been at the top of his game for a long time. But I think he's kind of again another improvement when you come into Manchester City's side and you play with the players that you're alongside. It's a great compliment.
What do you think of the role he's playing in this run-in, Jolien?
Hugely important. He fills the gaps where other players probably don't want to do the defensive duties. He's allowed Rodri to get forward and create opportunities, get assists, get goals himself. And you've seen Rodri, he's not just retrieving the ball, he's receiving it high up the pitch as well. So he definitely brings a lot more than he probably appears to on the surface. But yeah, he's an exceptional talent. He's 4-time Champions League winner, so he's obviously got some quality, and we shouldn't be surprised by the level of performances, his consistency hitting. Great
move for him as well, obviously being at Chelsea last year, and obviously the opportunity to come to Manchester City with Gundogan moving on, as a slot opens up, and he was a fantastic player to buy. That's the thing,
there always seems to be another cab off the rank, doesn't there, stepping up at the crucial stages of the season for them.
No, exactly right. They've got so much strength in depth. Look at that midfield, and the midfields in previous years of fantastic teams and clubs. That's right up there when you look round with Foden, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Kovacic. There's so much talent in there, and it's so fluid as well. Yeah. They're not regimented. They're staying in each other's positions. They can move all the way across the line. It's beautiful to watch.
Talking about talent, Jolien, let's have a look at Phil Foden's 25th of the season, shall we?
Again, you shouldn't be surprised by the level of consistency and the contribution in front of goal that Phil's hitting now. And he's playing with so much confidence and belief to swing. I'm going to say swing the right foot, his weaker, so-called weaker foot, and finish here. Bernardo Silva creates this opportunity, and initially I thought the ball was a little bit short, but he does exceptionally well. And Paulinho, I thought, was one of their best players. Great tackle, but it's an opportunity to get a shot up, and he's took it, and the keeper is blindsided, to be fair, but it's a great finish.
Great finish. Paulinho's tackle before that was unbelievable, but yeah, just
like watching him.
Oh, I do. He's so aggressive.
Yeah. To play against.
I honestly love watching him play. He's full-blooded. But credit to Foden after a tackle like that to steady himself on his wrong foot and just control it right into the corner. It was a lovely finish.
How well is he deciding games in key moments this season, Jolien, and just taking responsibility?
Yeah, I think he's took the responsibility. I think if you look at today's game, he's probably relatively quiet for Phil in terms of possessions, but he's turned up with a goal. He's created a few opportunities, but over the course of the season, I think it's probably highlighted him a little bit more, the fact that Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne are out for early stages, but he's took on that responsibility to decide games, like you said, and I think he has that unique ability that not many City players have, to just create an opportunity out of nothing, to dribble past three or four players, and all of a sudden the game opens up. So he's took it on his shoulders, and hopefully he takes this momentum into the summer.
It sounds weird when you think of all the things he's won already to call it a breakthrough season for him, but in many ways has it been, Peter, in the fact that he's become the outstanding player in this team?
Yeah, I think when you say breakthrough, he's broke through to be one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League.
Player.
One of the most key players, if not the most key, when Kevin De Bruyne was out. Yeah, it's a credit, and it's really nice to say that it's an Englishman. Quite often with the great teams we've seen in the past, there's been a player from another country who's really been the key player. But the fact that Phil Foden's the man now, it's only good for England's chances as well.
Absolutely, and still improving as well, Jolien. What's the ceiling?
I don't think there is one. I think just to maintain the level he's set, and I think we, as fans, shouldn't get carried away and expect him to go on and now and maybe next season score 40 goals. It doesn't work like that. It's just maintain the level that he's set, because ever since he's broke into the team, he's always contributed. He's probably contributed more due to the access, and I think now we're seeing him inside the pitch a little bit more. He has the ability to create in different ways.
It's the numbers now, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at that 25 goals and 11 assists, they're phenomenal numbers. He brings so much to the team, regardless of those guys. Even if you half them, it'd still be an unbelievable influence. But the fact that he's getting that amount of goals, unbelievable.
Absolutely. Already the Football Writers Association Player of the Season, and on that shortlist for the Premier League Player of the Season as well. Let's have a look at Gvardiol's second then, Jolien, because there was a chance in the first half for Manuel Akanji that he didn't take, but you saw a weakness there that they did manage to exploit eventually.
Yeah, again, obviously City, well documented, they work on set pieces, and you can see there Willian obviously has to go for the short, and here it's Adama Traore, and what it's doing is it's not allowing Fulham to get out as quick as they think they are. Obviously the players in the box are getting up and squeezing a high line, but they can't get out as fast as that, because you always taught as a defender you can go out as your deepest man, and they're getting out to a high line, they're thinking they're doing well defending it, and all of a sudden they're leaving so much space in the middle of the box.
Yeah, that's been worked on. They've obviously take it short, you can't get out together, but Fulham had a warning about it in the first half, and in second half again they didn't learn, and it's in the back of your net, and unfortunately you don't get two chances against Manchester City.
Ali spoke about the timing of the run as well. When we think about the finish for the first goal and the run for that one, are they a finish and a run that Haaland would have been proud of?
Yeah, really good, but I think Fulham do make it easier by leaving a man in there. Obviously you know that's going to happen. Obviously Manchester City know that there's going to be a man a lot deeper, and when they push up, it's your eyes light up there, and just all you've got to do is time your run, and you'll have a free header.
And Mateo Kovacic spoke about his international teammate, Jolien. Just how much, when you watch him, do you think he's relishing that opportunity to get forwards?
Oh, ever so much. And you've seen in the first half when Phil was operating inside, he created the width. Ricardo Reed had to play as a fifth defender. So yeah, he's obviously a threat. He's respected, but not just his goal, his whole contribution to the game. He's defensively was sound as well. So he'll take a lot of confidence from his performances. And to touch on his second finish, that is remarkable. 2 goals with his so-called weaker foot again. So yeah, he's a man full of confidence.
What impresses you about the defensive side of his game? Because we've spoken a lot defensively.
I think the responsibility, he doesn't shy away from it. You can see his recovery runs are intentful. He wants to get back, and when he's faced up by an opponent, he takes pride in the ball not going past him. I think far too often we see defenders thinking, well, I'm not going to get beat, but the shot will go past him or the cross will go past him. But he seems someone like takes pride in the ball isn't going to pass me at any cost.
77 million from Leipzig. It's not a small price tag, Peter, but how valuable is he looking for them?
Well, he scored really, really important goals. I think first and foremost, defensively, he's been very good, and obviously that's what he's been brought for. But the fact that he's been able to add such important goals has been amazing. But yeah, like you say, it's no small amount of money. But I was pleased he didn't take the penalty. I thought he'd been slightly taking a mick a little bit out of Fulham. But also, I think it's they got a job to do. Alvarez is the best man for the job. I think it was the right decision for him not to take it.
Well, here's the decision to award the penalty, Jolyon. Talk us through it.
Yeah, listen, the right decision. I don't know whether he's actually trying to attempt to block that because it's not even a 50-50 chance of blocking it, and there's a lot at stake. And not only has he given away a penalty, but he's been sent off. So you've got to recognise the situation. But I was slightly different of opinions.
Yeah, you're a defender.
Just for him to score a hat-trick would have been remarkable. But I like the way he decided. That's the bit I'm impressed by. It wasn't like confusion. It wasn't like I want to take it, and Alvarez was like yes, no. It was kind of like Alvarez is taking it, and there was no discussion.
We've had issues around that, haven't we, this season? And I think the fact that it was discussed, but it didn't interfere with Alvarez's penalty. He gave it up, and I think that was the right decision. I think they're trying to win a league title. It's not a testimonial. We all love Guardiola to get a hat trick, but at the end of the day, you got to win the game. And
you might not get many opportunities though.
But think about it. That one goal could decide the title. If he goes and misses that, and goes, remember that one goal that where we let Guardiola try and get a hat trick and he missed it. It could have cost them.
Well, there's 2 goals in it now when it comes to goal difference. Obviously, City and Pep are going to be hoping it doesn't come to that. They just win their remaining 2 games, Jolyon. But if it could, is Pete right? That could be a significant moment when you've got someone like Alvarez who you can really rely on.
Yeah, definitely rely on Alvarez, and I know better than most people about winning titles on goal difference. But I don't think this is going to be the case. I don't think that this group of players, this club, are thinking about how many goals they need to score to in regards to the goal difference to win the title. They'll be thinking about, we beat Spurs and we beat West Ham at home. We win the title, regardless of if it's 6-0 or 1-0.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I think they'll win all their games and win the title. But it's just that I just think it just shows.
You're not backing Spurs, Peter?
Unfortunately not. No, I just think it just shows the professionalism of Manchester City that they're taking nothing for granted, even sentiment.
They've taken 6 points from 6 against Fulham. Arsenal this season have just taken 1 off the Cottagers. Does that feel like a significant swing?
It potentially does today because it's against Fulham, but I'm sure there's a lot of teams you could argue that case for. But in regards to this being a test, yes, definitely they should take pride in that and recognise what they've achieved, because Fulham are a tough task, a tough team to beat for the top teams. We've seen them obviously against Arsenal in particular. They've took a lot of points off them. So in regards to that, yeah, you would say this will be the game, but only because it's the fixture today.
Do you agree?
Yeah, without doubt. I think we should say as well, credit to Arsenal. I think, potentially they're not going to win it, but anyone who runs this Manchester City team as close as they have done has done an amazing season.